How many times do I just have to keep watching the same kind of Halloween films over and over again? I'm really tired. And for some reason I decided to watch a movie. One Night in October. I saw the trailer for this the same time I saw that shit film that I just reviewed, Pumpkins. I saw the trailer for it just at the same time I saw the Pumpkins trailer. Saw a trailer for this one. One Night in October. It is an anthology movie. Okay. Great. It's an anthology. That hasn't been done before. Things I liked. Well, first of all, I'll state the story. Since it is an anthology, I'll do my usual thing when I review anthology movies. I'll just go one by one and grade the stories. One story is about this girl who is being stalked by this one guy in a mask at home, and she has a boyfriend who I'm assuming is a detective or an agent or works for some sort of secret government, whatever. And they can't see each other for some weird reason. They don't know why, or us as the audience don't know why. It's later explained, but I would spoil the twist, and I would spoil the ending for that story, so I'm not going to say anything. The other story is essentially about this girl who just moves into the neighborhood. She unpacks everything. She's getting in the Halloween spirit by decorating her house. Her house looks really colorful, looks cool, and then it's basically a home invasion film with these three guys. The last one is about a killer scarecrow, and a bunch of teenagers are stuck in the middle of this farm. Okay, but first off, let's talk about the scarecrow story. I love scarecrows. I associate scarecrows with Halloween. I think a lot of people do, as a matter of fact, so got that going. But this story was shit. This was easily the worst. I was not engaged in any of the characters. Their acting was very wooden. None of them are likable. They're just your standard, stereotypical teenage dumbasses just waiting there to get killed and make stupid decisions, and that's pretty much it. The story behind the Scarecrow is not interesting at all. It was kind of boring. The kills from the Scarecrow were somewhat cool, I guess, but they're mostly off screen and none of them are very interesting. And the Scarecrow was fat, and it looked weird. And overall, it just had like a slow pacing. The pacing of that story was really short, and it just kind of moved at a snail's pace. In fact, it just kind of ended. It just kind of ended abruptly, and I was just kind of left there like, what? Overall, my rating for that is probably a D+. Story 2, the one with the secret agent and the girl, was the most character engaging and the most interesting. It wasn't really scary, nor was it really entertaining, but the characters were likable enough. Their acting's fine. There's nothing that sticks out. If this was like a school film, like they made it for a school project or something, I would say it's good. In terms of this, you know, because this is a movie, like a legit movie. It's nothing special. It's nothing special, but it's not terrible. I was able to handle it just fine. The characters were somewhat engaging. They were given enough backstory, and a twist, I'll admit, I didn't see coming, and it was kind of clever. And I'll definitely say that the practical effects in this movie in a whole is good. I'll definitely say that. And the story was keeping me engaged, and that's pretty much all I had going for it. It was the most engaging. But overall, it, like the other one, had a snail's pace. It just kind of dragged a little too long. There are a few scenes that are just kind of like, okay, can we pick up the pace? There's a lot of dialogue scenes in this movie as a whole, but mostly in this part of the movie. But it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. It's just kind of in between. I'd give this one possibly a C. Like in terms of, you know, stories. The last one with the home invasion is easily the best. It was the most engaging. Like, well, okay, I said that about the other short. But what I mean by that, it was like probably, I'd say the most entertaining. The acting is fine. It's not really wooden, but there's not, like I said, there's nothing that sticks out about it. It's just very mediocre for a low-budget film. The characters are meh. You got basically, I'm just gonna spoil the twist because it's literally like they literally say it, and like they literally say it in the first like 10 minutes of this story. Sorry. I got spooked. My backyard light is off. I'm tired. Heard a weird sound. I'm spooked. So let's get on with the review. So, like I said, the characters are meh. You got the home invaders. It's pretty much Don't Breathe. It's pretty much Don't Breathe, but instead of a blind man, we get a psycho lady who is a serial killer. And there's real no twist in this movie, I guess, if you want to consider that the twist, even though they kind of reveal it early on, so it's not really a reveal. It's pretty much all it is. I will say it was the most festive for Halloween. Every time I saw those orange lights, I was like, yes, this is Halloween. That's cool. It's what I wanted. If the whole film was just this, it probably would have been fine. But instead we got the other two, which... This one wasn't really, like, special, but it was easily the most entertaining because the kills were cool, the practical effects were cool, acting was fine for the most part, but like the other stories, this one had a snail's pace. For some reason, this whole film had a snail pace. Like, characters take forever to say certain lines. There's sometimes weird deliveries that sometimes make the acting off-putting. While it isn't terrible, nor is it really even bad, it's just kind of meh. But this was probably easily the best, since the ending was kind of cool and the practical effects were pretty dope to see. But nothing special. Overall, that one I would probably give a C+. Overall, as the film in a whole, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. It was just kind of meh. Overall, it just was kind of boring. Like, there were a few cool parts, like the practical effects and the kills. One or two stories were entertaining and engaging, but for the most part, nothing special. The stories aren't anything special. The only one I can really say worth watching this film is probably the home invasion one. That's about it. Overall, as a whole, I would give this film probably a C-. It's not terrible. It's not good. But it's just kind of meh. I don't really recommend it, but I don't say, you know, I'm not saying watch it, but I'm not saying don't watch it. If you guys want to watch this film, maybe you'll like it. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I should probably go to my bedroom, but instead...